People are already furious with Modern Warfare 2. Now, of course, with the new COD comes backlash, and we know this is a thing, it's not the first time this has happened. However, there's a lot of unhappy people around this year, and I want to break down exactly what people are frustrated about and offer my perspective on it from the fact that I've played Call of Duty since Call of Duty 4. Now, first of all, we have the big hot topic that has been surrounding Twitter for the past 2 days, and it's SBMM. If you don't know, SBMM, or skill-based matchmaking, is designed to put you with players against a similar skill level, which sounds great in theory. However, with everything and with every algorithm, there's always outliers and problems, and this is what people are unhappy about and what I want to break down. What SBMM is aiming to do is put you around a 1 KD, and that's the hope. So this is why you may have a good game or a really good game, and then the next few games after this will be terrible. You will get absolutely ruined, and you'll maybe go negative like quite a lot. And it happened to me, and it seems to be happening to a lot of other people as well. Now, this is the aim, to keep you at a 1 KD, but what's happening is something behind the scenes with your MMR, which is your matchmaking ranking, I believe it stands for. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that. But basically, this is something we can't see, and behind the scenes on the back end, everyone has an individual rank or number. And what happens is with every game you play, this number will either go up or down, and it fluctuates based on your performance. So if you do well one game, it will bump your rank up, and if you do bad one game, it will take your rank down. Now, this is why people are getting frustrated, because we can't actually see what's going on. Like in some games where we have ranked modes, we can understand how our rank's progressing or how it might be coming down and why it came down. However, in Call of Duty, we don't really have this. There isn't a rank mode, and it's just in kind of public, but in the back end. Now, I'm fairly neutral on SBMM. I understand why it exists, and I get why it's in place, because for example, think of it from another point of view. If you play Call of Duty quite regularly, but you have someone who has a full-time job, like myself, I also have a full-time job, maybe only gets to play a couple hours on a weekend or a couple hours on the evening. I at most get to play perhaps a couple hours on the evening, if that, and they don't want to hop on and get absolutely obliterated by their favorite streamer or content creator or little Timmy who's playing this 8 to 10 hours a day. Because understandably, those people who play it more will have better map knowledge, better weapons, better meta knowledge, and everything that comes with playing games more, better accuracy, everything else that comes with it, maybe a scuff control or whatever it might be. They have an advantage, and this is what Call of Duty is trying to prevent. What Call of Duty wants to do is keep you playing as long as possible and keep people entertained as long as possible and have a concurrent player base, and then obviously that will lead to more sales and more revenue throughout the store, and obviously everything boils down to making profit and being a business, because that's how everything works and that's what gaming has become. Now, people are having issues with this because obviously with anything there are outliers, and say you may only play a few hours a day and you're an outlier, you're above average, you're pretty good at the game, and like myself, I played Call of Duty for 15 years or whatever it might be. I can hop on and have a general pretty good grasp the first time I play an FPS game. Although I might not fully understand what's going on, I won't understand the maps and whatever it might be, I'll get to grips with it quite fast. Now, what Call of Duty might not be expecting from me is how good I then play in my first game. So after my first game, he goes, right, this person is better than we expected, and we need to bump him way up the MMR, and then we'll place him against people who are much better. And what happens and why people are getting frustrated is because then they play better, and these then get put in lobbies with players who may get to play way more than them because they are the better players. They are the people who play it more and obviously are much better at the game. So you're kind of in this in-between of you're better than where you should be, but you're not so good to keep up with the people better than you, and you're constantly fluctuating between these two lobbies and ranks. And this is where the frustration becomes, because you're having to try every single game and really play sweaty, as you would consider it, to keep up and to actually do well and have fun. And people don't want this. They want to have fun. It's a game at the end of the day, and people don't want to sweat it out and have to try really hard every game just to keep up with the SBMM. And this is where the argument is coming from. Now, devs have actually come out and said SBMM existed in Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2. It was there. It's always been there. But we don't know to what intensity. We don't know whether it's got stricter. We don't know how it's changed over the years. From my perspective, SBMM will always be a thing. It's there. It's catering to people who don't get to play the game as much, and I understand why it exists. I think it will always be in games, and there's not much we can do about it without the devs being changing it. So everyone can keep arguing about it, trying to get it changed, but it never will change because it keeps 90% of the community happy. The creators, the streamers, your favorite player, whoever it might be, they're such a small minority of the community, and although they will have outpouring, they base it on their general data, and no amount of money will outweigh the stats and data that they get from people playing the game. It's the way it is, and it will never change, but they're more reliant on their data and their sales than they would be you being upset that you had one bad game and maybe one good game. Anyway, I didn't want to spend the whole video talking about SBMM, so let's move on to the next thing. Now, a big hot topic right now is movement, of course, and they have completely removed bunny hopping and slide cancelling. It's no longer a thing. Yes, it was in the previous Modern Warfare, and it was kind of passable in the beta, but no, you can no longer do it. Personally, I don't have a huge issue with this. While I could get by with a bit of slide cancelling and bunny hopping and adjust to it, I don't mind that it's been taken out. I'm used to Call of Duty games with absolutely no movement, perhaps even when you couldn't even slide or dolphin dive. I remember when dolphin diving got added to Black Ops 1, and that was absolutely huge. But no more is movement, and you'll have to find something else to use. I think, again, it's switching to this tactical kind of shooter rather than an arcade shooter, and they're trying to boil it down more to gunplay as opposed to movement. If you prefer movement, maybe hold out on COD and just play Warzone, as it will be probably free to play. And there are games out there that are more catered and specified towards movement players, and that might be more your thing. Now, an interesting one is they've removed leaderboards, combat records, stats, barracks, challenges, whatever you want to call it. All of it is not visible and not there. For the first time, what I think is ever, please let me know if I'm wrong. We can't see our win-loss ratio, our KD, our accuracy, how many bullets we may have shot, how many bullets we may have missed. All that kind of stuff that people like to look at is gone. There's no medals and no challenges with it as well. Now, we do have daily challenges and camo challenges, but no actual in-game challenges like people may enjoy doing. And people are understandably upset that we can't see stats like KD, and whether that links back to SBMM once more and just trying to keep us at a 1 KD, and so people don't get fixated on maybe if they have a less than 1 KD, they don't like, oh, I feel bad at the game, I shouldn't play it and all this. Maybe it's to do with that. That's what a lot of people are getting annoyed about. They think, oh, it's kids, it's to the casuals and whatever, but people don't understand that's literally 90% of the play base. Now, I do find it a bit weird personally that none of this is included. I would hope that it comes with Season 1. I think Season 1 will be a pretty big update. Kind of strange because Battlefield got a big backlash when they didn't include anything like this in their release, and I hope Call of Duty won't be going down that same route. I hope they will add some stuff in pretty soon. Now, a big problem that we've had on launch is crashes in the game when partied up with friends. What happens is you load into a lobby and your game crashes, or your game will freeze, and then you can't really do anything, and it just kind of kicks you out. So you can't really play with friends, which is a real shame, but I have seen Infinity Ward tweet this morning saying that they're hoping an update will be out tomorrow. So don't let that put you off. Maybe just hold off a day if you want to play with friends. On PS5, I haven't noticed anything major. I have had a few stutters and a bit of time loading in, but then eventually it has loaded in, so it is there. Now, if you're a hardcore preferred player, you might want to wait before picking up this game because there is no hardcore mode on launch. That will be coming with Season 1. For some reason, it's not been included on launch, which does suck because a lot of people enjoy playing hardcore and they're not getting to play their preferred mode of game. However, people are upset, and I'm curious to see how hardcore mode is going to be, because the time to kill in Call of Duty in core modes is quite fast, and people are getting kind of upset. It's not really a change since beta. It definitely is. If you shoot first, you're more likely to win that gunfight, but it seems Call of Duty is switching to more a tactical shooter than an arcade shooter. And while I can adjust to this, yes, it's not ideal, but I remember in World at War and Modern Warfare 2 when the MP40 and the UMP would kill you in 3 bullets. It's been around for a while, but however, if you've only played Warzone or newer Call of Duties, you might not be expecting a lower time to kill. People are understandably angry with this, but again, they've got to cater to everyone and not just the odd person who's playing it. I think they will base it on data and, once more, adjust it as needed. Personally, sometimes I do find the time to kill a little too fast, but maybe it will help with the weapon balancing, and we won't see as much of a meta weapon usage type scenario where, like, one weapon just outshines everything, and I think it's maybe trying to level the playing field a bit more, at least in my perspective. I'm adjusting to the maps. A lot of people don't like the map design. There is one map which is absolutely terrible, and it's just a freeway / bridge, which is a real shame. It's just cars that seem to blow up, and a lot of them do seem to have a similar kind of pacing. They're very kind of close quarters or people hiding in certain areas, but at the minute I've only really played a handful of maps. There is 10. I seem to be getting the same 2 over and over, and I am so sick of playing Embassy. I don't know if anyone else has had this. I just keep getting put in embassy lobbies and I have no idea why. Now, finishing on a more positive note and overall thoughts about this game. Personally, I'm kind of enjoying it. I like the gunplay. A lot of people are saying the visual recoil is a bit much. But again, they're switching to this more tactical approach rather than the arcade approach. I think they're just trying to stop people beaming you at 500 meters in Warzone with a broken weapon. I personally can get by, but I have aim assist on a controller. Is that the problem? Mouse and keyboard, maybe not. Let me know in the comments what you think. However, overall, I genuinely think Modern Warfare 2 is pretty solid. There is obviously a few problems and complaints. I'd maybe hold out if you're not purchased this game yet. Hold out until the Season 1 patch or just in a few weeks when they've ironed out these Day 1 bugs, and I'm sure it might be more your thing. If you want to see more Modern Warfare 2, you can click on the screen now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.